All right, hey, I'm Hayashi. All right, we got the trophy. I do just want to give you all a heads up before you get into the games. There's a volume spike at the beginning of the beginning of match one. Um, not sure why exactly, but it might be a combination of me being a bit more passionate for some reason because I think I was actually I was getting beat up by Storm like crazy, which is going to segue into the thesis statement of this deck tech and what we're basically what the idea behind the construction of this particular build is. But I was getting beat like crazy by Storm. I was also making some dumb misplays previously, but let's just say the last league was a huge disappointment. Um, and also getting whacked by Storm was definitely very frustrating. So it was kind of like kind of psyching myself up. I'm like, this time I'm going to do it, and we did it. We actually did do it this time. And basically, the thesis statement of this deck. First of all, Avengers Disassembled. I think this is very obvious. I was already basically I was experimenting with the Geomancer's Gambit version that you saw me trophy at the end of last season with, in large part because I wanted a shell that I could easily I wanted the mana base to have an equal amount of red and white sources. I wanted Avengers Disassembled to easily replace Geomancer's Gambit. My theory was if Geomancer's Gambit is doing great, Avengers Disassembled will probably do better. And so far, that has been the case. Because while you don't draw a card, oftentimes you don't necessarily need to, but when you need that sweeper is invaluable. Now, on to the next thesis statement. Calamity's Wake. Yeah. I was getting humiliated by frickin' Storm. Storm with Hex Magic, there's no beating that because they Hex Magic and then they have like 7 cards. It's almost like draw 7. I mean, okay, maybe it's more like draw 5 or draw 6, but it's draw somewhere between like 5 and 7 cards for 3 mana. It's insane. They're like one of the few decks in the format that can literally cast all their spells the next turn. Even if they cast it for like 3 mana, or 2 mana if they played like a Ruby Medallion or something the turn before. More often than not, they could probably just win right there and then. If they played a Ruby Medallion on turn 2, Hex Magic on turn 3, they win. But the fact that they could just cast it on turn 3 and then they pretty much are guaranteed to get whatever combination of enablers and spells, oftentimes in duplicates. It's absolutely nuts. Oh yeah, and in games 2 and 3, you think your High Noon's going to stick when they see 7 more cards, essentially, when they draw, 5 to 7 cards off of their Hex Magic. You think like one of those is not going to be some kind of prismatic ending or wear tear or something? Yeah, it definitely is. And High Noon was never sticking. It felt like I might as well just not even have it in the deck. That being said, High Noon is still in the deck because I mean, look, it's still not nothing. But especially if you stick it later in the game. Bottom line though, you need something more powerful and you need something better than High Noon to at least stop the bleeding. And High Noon can still sometimes do work later in the game, but they can't. Basically, once they whittle their hand down and they try to rebuild, when Hex Magic only draws 2-3 cards instead of 5 or 7, then High Noon basically can still do what it does best. Plus, it also can just whack them for 5 damage. It's also reach. Bottom line is we need something to stop them from just straight up running away with the game with Hex Magic and Calamity's Wake. There's no other card that I found that comes even close to this. And the craziest thing is this also does something else that I didn't think that there was a card that was gonna be able to do this. But okay, what this does is this not only stops them from comboing off like Orm's Chant, but it also wipes their graveyard, and that's huge because the problem that I have, there's no perfect card, right? So with Orm's Chant, the problem is you stop them from going off, but unless they're going off, involve them having to Passion Flames a second time for some reason, or to somehow put it in their graveyard. More often than not, they've got a Passion Flame sitting in their graveyard, and they're going to go off with just casting it once, if you catch my drift. A lot of times with Orm's Chant, the problem is there's very, very rare reasons that flashing back a Passion Flames is going to be a vital part of Storm actually winning. So more often than not with Orm's Chant, you got to cast it, and then right before they're about to win, but then they've got a whole graveyard stocked with stuff, and they've got a Pass in Flames. And if they don't have the mana to cast it yet, all they need to do basically is draw a couple more rituals. Sometimes they don't even need like a mana rock, I mean whatever you call it, like a ruby medallion or whatever. Sometimes they've just got such a stacked graveyard by that point that sometimes they literally just need one or two more rituals, and then they're off to the races. And then like all you did was just buy yourself a couple turns. Calamity's Wake solves that issue because not only does it stop them from going off, and yes, they can play creatures, but I'll get to that in a second. Not only does it effectively stop them from playing spells, at least all the spells that matter, and the one you're thinking of that matters actually doesn't as much as you think with Calamity's Wake, but it also wipes their graveyard. So more often than not, they're gonna cast a Pass in Flames as a part of going off, and then that's gonna be sitting in their graveyard, and then if you cast Calamity's Wake, it's basically a combo breaker, but on top of that, it also it's like a combo breaker from Killer Instinct, except instead it also drains your health down to like 1 pixel. So it's like a combo breaker plus like a drain your health down to 1. So it's yeah, because by draining their graveyard, it's very hard for them to come back after that. So Calamity's Wake, definitely, I think this was the card I've always been looking for to have a chance against Storm. And what's just an amazing side effect of this card. And one of the reasons why I this might be my go-to from now on, unless they like ban Storm to oblivion, unless they like nerf it to the ground. So unless Storm is just a non-issue, because I'm not necessarily convinced that this is the best graveyard hate spell, but it definitely is the best anti-Storm spell. But the fact that it also can be brought in against Reanimator and like graveyard-based strategies, that's just icing on the cake, because it's not a one-trick pony. Like it also does work in the graveyard matchups. I mean, is it as good as Relic or Rest in Peace? Definitely not as good as Rest in Peace. But I mean, is it good as Relic? Probably not. That being said, there is power in having a card that you hold up and they don't see coming, because your opponent most of the time is not going to try to reanimate something right into a Relic or Progenitus. They might in response to a Calamity's Wake, and that's almost kind of like a counterspell plus you wipe their graveyard. So if they had something else in the graveyard they wanted to use, that's gone too. Now it would be really cool if you could draw a card too, but hey, you can't win them all. But this card just does a lot. This card just does a lot. I'm excited to show you all how this goes. Just once again, watch out for this volume spike. I recommend turning the volume down for the first little bit of the first match, but it does peter off from there. But just watch out for the volume spike, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care, everybody. All right, let's go. No more stupid displays. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. The energy deck. Okay, considering that I don't have a sweeper in hand, I think I have to pass this. Unless they play Raggy. Even if they play Raggy, actually, I think I have to hit the Pride. Obviously, they're going to get Mountain. Just fine. They decided not to deal 1 damage to me. I'll take it, I guess. Oh, because they have 1 more. Land. Come on. Yes. Perfect. Obviously, they're going to deal 3 damage to me, but so, or not. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do this. And I'm most likely getting lost on the Goblin Bombardment. Well, if they're going to do that, I guess I do that. I do not feel like flinging this stuff. Okay. Okie dokie. Yep. I think we do that. I think we put Kikira at a hand just in case. Yeah, Solitude seems like a plan to me. Okay. Yeah, why not? Okay. Get lost for sure. Research Dusk. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. And we accomplished all of this with only 1 Wrath. Not bad. Okay. Next turn. Okay. Okay, good. Now it's time for Avengers Disassembled to make its debut. And you know what? I actually am starting to think that Get Lost is better than Path. It's a little more expensive, but it also deals with it doesn't auto ramp them. It deals with Goblin Bombardment and a Flip to Johnny. It also deals with a pre-flipped Roku. Not that you always necessarily looking to hit that, but you could prevent them from making an extra red mana on their turn. So like it has a lot of utility. Yeah, although it does mean you can't deal with Ragavan as easily. See, like right here, you would have had an easier go of Ragavan. Okay, well they don't have Ragavan, thankfully. Okay, Goblin Bombardment. Blood Moon. Okay. I'm very so-so about Blood Moon. Road is pretty nice. Maybe I should have gotten a road. Nah. Okay. This is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to pitch the Solitude. Yep. Guided by Light. So I think I have to fetch out a red source because... Price of freedom, definitely. Freedom! They can take our lives, but they can't take our freedom! Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Should I disassemble? I think I will disassemble. I'll go after the red sources. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna play around Mana Tithe. Let's go. Okay. All right. I've hit all the... Yeah. So yeah, they can keep cranking tokens, but at least they won't deal damage to me anymore, and this won't deal damage to me anymore. And they don't have red mana. We're making progress. Okay. Yes, Bivouac might be able to attack. That rhymed. Alright, we're going to Bivou attack. We are going to Bivou attack. No! Oh, whatever. This sucks so bad. I misclicked. Like I just clicked through it. Like the nerves were just too much. I was Bivou attacking. Ah, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I'll happily trade with that cat token. Whatevs. I can't believe I missed that attack. It's so stupid. Okay. Yes. I like you, Road. Okay. The artifactables. Sweet. Okay. Let's see if we can keep the streak going. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, research desk. Research desk just incredibly cheap, incredibly good value. Okay, and cause see, like we're gonna be looking for a removal spell. Let's go. Well, that didn't happen. We drew all 4 research desks. Still, in principle, I think this is correct. Okay. I drew 1 card. I can live with that. Okay. Price of freedom. Okay. See if I get Solitude. I do. Any. Okay. Riddler. Quantum riddles. Alrighty. Go after the basic planes. Okay. Let's go. Another riddle. Okay. Let's do this. Atraxia. I want to be able to intercept a Riddler, because if they draw land, cast Riddler, or just that. Solitude prismatic ending. Ephemerate breeding pool. So double white, I think, is more important than double black. I'm probably going to play another Riddler, or play that. Prismatic ending, Great Time Raveler, Lotus China Psychic Frog. I guess I should have done this first, right? Because what if we had drawn Solitude like we did? I'm actually just not so sure we actually want to use Solitude. I really should have. I would have held it anyway, though. That's the problem, because I would have expected an Ephemerate. Is one of the downsides of Research Desk. Also, I wish I didn't have to hit both of those at the same time. Clefairy. Bye bye. Okay. Let's go after the blue. All the red, white, and blue are the funny things you do. America, America, oh, this is you. Dun, 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 dun. You could be a star tonight, so let that camera roll. Continue going after blue. Okay. That would have just straight up killed me, so I had to do what I had to do. Please don't Boros Vengeance me again, bro. I guess that's a good sign. It means they actually feel they need to draw something. Add a fetchables, I guess that's good. Okay. Yeah, I have to imagine this is a good thing. Field a ruin. I think I'll field a ruin now and I'll wait on the Teferi, because they may also present a better card. I want to hit the blue mana while I can. Okay. If we lose this, it's in spite of research deaths, not because of it. That was insanely good. Calamity's Wake. And maybe we just leave it at this, right? I mean, yeah. I'm putting in 2 ejects. Because they hit planeswalkers. They can also intercept and attract 2 Wrath of Gods is probably fine. This hand could go horribly, horribly wrong, but it has lands and spells. Kind of like to see them putting Thoughtseize into the graveyard, since Calamity's Wake is kind of okay. I don't see them playing something on turn 2 that I need to hold Calamity's Wake up for. Interesting. Okay, now suddenly I need to hold up Calamity's Wake. Hopefully they don't see this coming. Alright, well. Hey, this was kind of one of the ideas behind including Calamity's Wake, is it's also disguised, unlike certain other cards. Yeah. We're actually close to Ponzing them out. I'm going to do for 1 blue. Okay, they're just trying to style. You might be a star tonight, so let that camera roll. Red, white, and blue. Oh, the funny things you do, America, America. Oh, this is you. Dun, 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 dun. I think taking black, because that might actually prevent them from being able to go off. Okay. And no Calamity's Wake, but I'm not gonna be greedy here. See, the nice thing about instant speed, hate like Calamity's Wake, is it also gets them to think. Unless, of course, they Thoughtseize, in which case they're going to assume the coast is clear. But if they didn't Thoughtseize, they might have played around it whether I actually had it or not. Oh, and well, now they may have a false sense of security, since I actually do have Calamity's Wake, even then it looks like I didn't. What I don't like about this is I'm incentivized to want to kill that thing ASAP and then they can go off. There's really kind of... Oh, fuck. I should have played. I keep forgetting this, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you all. I keep forgetting that this is not a plains. That just really should have been get lost. There's no good reason. Oy vey. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. Should I wait until their turn? I don't really see the difference. Gotta hold up Calamity's Wake. There's no other way. Ashiok. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have red. So, no, hit white. Thankfully, this doesn't count as searching. Alrighty. Alrighty. I definitely want to cut them off of blue, that's for sure. I have to cut them off blue because Quantum Riddler is the biggest threat to our way of life and everything that we hold dear. I'm probably going to get solituded, but so be it. At least they had to pitch an ephemerate. It might be a star tonight. Let that camera roll. Hopefully they don't draw a, you know what, it's their last card on top. I had to do that, otherwise I would have drawn two. When you start to not let that camera roll. Red, white, and blue. Oh, the funny things you do, America, America. This is you. Da, 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 da. Yes, okay. Might as well do that. Hitting Ashiok. Play a hit more land destruction so I can keep them off of blue. I really don't like the filtering. I could attack, or I could just make tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna make tokens. Oof, that was a close call. Okay. Now I kind of think I'm inclined to bivouac attack. To bivo attack. So what I can do now is I can pump the token. Alrighty. Bivo attack. Bivo whack attack. That's a wacky attack. I think I'm going to wait because I may want to erode. Definitely want to do this. Nice! This is not an easy matchup. So maybe Calamity's Wake is actually better in this matchup than Relic. So maybe best of both worlds. Better against Storm, better against this deck. Okay, let's see how this one goes. I'm gonna keep. I don't know what we're up against. Oh, April. This is April O'Neil. I guess this is Mutant April. I wonder why like mutants are always depicted as green. I mean, mutants can be a color other than green, right? Probably because of radioactive waste being green. It's forever solidified green as the color of mutation in the public's consciousness. Okay, so I normally I would have played this tapped, but I don't want them to be able to prismatic ending the research desk. Plus, I could hold up erode too, which you never know. Maybe they go for a quantum riddler, and then they also And then, or they go for Ophelia. And they also ephemerate, I was going to say. Overlord of the Bismuzak. Huh, good thing they didn't. All right, we definitely have to do this. We don't want them. We don't want them targeting the Overlord. Okay. I am kind of inclined. I think we got to hit the blue. We just have to. It's just the thing to do, people. Also, some of these non-reanimator black black and white base decks don't even play a basic island. This one probably does, but maybe not. It might not, and there's a lot of value to be had for that reason. If they play Flicker Wisp, it is what it is. Okay. They're probably going to take Cleansing Wildfire. That was, of course, the counterfactual. Maybe I should have played Cleansing Wildfire instead. I think it's okay though. Interesting. I would have thought they'd go after Cleansing Wildfire. Hopefully they don't play land into Flicker Wisp. Okay. Now I'm guessing they're going to take Wildfire. They might take Wrath of the Skies though. These are powerful. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, got Wildfire back. Yeah, I've already got kind of too many lands. So here's the issue. I don't want them to untap with Ophelia. So I'm going to do this. I think I should have hit Black Source though, because well, no, actually, I think they played double black or they did play double white. I can't remember. They played double white, I think. Yeah, they played double white. Maybe we can keep them off of white though. Oh, so there is an island buried in there. Okay. I was not expecting that, but okay. Alrighty. Okay. If I were them, I'd take the research desk. Is it just me or this looks like She-Hulk? April O'Neil turns into She-Hulk when she mutates. I'm a little bit surprised. Okay. Wow, they're really packing a lot of basics. At least they're off of white now. Not exactly sure what that does for us, but they are. Well, they're off of white, that's for sure. I think I want to just do this now. Because I don't want them to wake up and see that they can hit the research desk. And I have to imagine they're finally out of basics. Double white, though, is actually kind of important because Flicker Wisp. Okay. Ooh, this is a close call because Research Desk is pretty good too. It's got to be Research Desk though, because this keeps the deck churning, if you know what I mean. I'm just a little bit worried that they have Philia. My fear turned out to be justified. I think I'll take the Solitude. Maybe I'll just do Wrath of the Skies on X equals 5 and let them return another Philia. This is a close call, but fine. I don't know. That's probably the wrong call. That's kind of like hitting my land drop too. Yeah, but they also might have had that. Okay. Another Emperor Bones, I'm guessing. I think I want to take this because that way their other Emperor Bones, they might be mana screwed from using that ability. Witch Enchanter, that's unfortunate because Witch Enchanter helps with their mana situation. Okay. I think because of this, I'm going to just do this for X equals 5. This way, even if they ephemerate, it's still gonna scoop it up. They smack me with another Overlord. That is what it is. Okay. We'll take 5. Return Philia. Return Witch Enchanter, okay. They might deck themselves if I can hold the board long enough. Watch a Riddler, okay. Ephemerate. Ephem. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Yeah, I think Path to Exile is pretty good. Alrighty. Solitude, okay. Well, might as well do this now. I'll forever hold my peace. Well, that was pretty good. Hopefully they don't have another... yeah, they played the Witch Enchanter, so... Okay, I'm going to crack this on my turn, because... Roady road, do you road me? Do you road me? Yeah, all good stuff. Alrighty. Let's see if they feed something into my Get Lost or if they just wait a turn. It's up to them. The choice is theirs. Alrighty. I had no other play, so I guess I might as well. I'm a little bit surprised they just fed that out. I could have just faded that one turn, but I don't know. I'm not them, so I don't pretend to know what's best for them. Yeah, let's do this. So I wanna probably Quarry Mountain. Gonna hold this up in case they play another thingamabobber. Yep, Rathagon. Okay. Alright, it is what it is. I don't think I can intercept that. Nor do I think I want to, even if I could, because I'm very close to just keeping them off of blue for the rest of the game. Okay, I'll take it. Okay. Now the question is, what is good in life, Conan? I'm very torn about Wrath of the Skies because it can be very good, but it's good later in the game. Do I want to replace it with a couple ejects, a couple rejects? I'm kind of inclined to say no. I think I'm main boarded because these Wrath of the Skies, they just nothing really helps us get out of a jam like these. Okay. No, this is no bueno. Okay. Yeah, I think this'll work. Also, what was I thinking? Mr. Research Desk is like clearly the best card for this deck. Maze Mind Tome is great and all, but like I mean obviously like in this deck it just seems like Research Desk is better. Um I think this is a tough call. I like all of these cards. The problem with Quarry Mountain is that it doesn't count. This is not a plains. Yeah, I think I'll put Bivouac back. Bivouac only comes into play later anyway. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Are they actually going to consign to memory in Mr. Reese? Okay. Well, I guess it's my only colorless spell, right? But I mean, that seems like not the strongest play. I have to, what dead card did they take out? Probably Fatal Push, I guess. Yeah, Fatal Push is like almost completely dead against us. I'm guessing bye-bye Cleansing Wildfire. Hardly knew ye. Hardly knew ye. Okay. I'm just gonna shock in. Again, I just don't want them. I don't want them playing prismatic ending on this. I guess a road. I'm kind of surprised that they did this because like they're not kind of respecting the fact that they could get card advantage by letting this like wither on the vine, if you know what I mean. I don't really know what to say. On the one hand, I guess they are actually kind of running low on time, right? So like there is maybe they want maybe secretly this is like they actually want the rampant growth. You know, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna assume that this was a next level play on their part, where they actually were like, "Dang, I wish this Philia was a instant speed rampant growth. Let me play this at the end of their turn, so they're gonna erode me. They can't resist, and they're right. I couldn't resist." Um, and it's actually kind of looking like maybe that's what they were angling for. I'm still not 100% sure that's the better play, but that may well have been their intention. Okay, okay. I think I would have played that for 2 though, if I were them. Just saying. They have 2 islands. Okay, that's interesting. Um, okay, here's my plan. I think. I think I want to get to work. They also might play something else. Feed into a double Wrath of God. That may have been a little greedy. I'm gonna take my chances though. At least they're drawing all their basics. Okay, I was a little bit worried about this one. They can Philia, right? I could also Witch Enchanter. Yeah, Philia makes more sense. I'm assuming they're gonna blink their Quantum Riddler with the Hasty Philia, but that means they don't get in for 4. They may actually want to reset their Emperor of Bones. If I were them, I'd consider resetting Emperor of Bones. But it is, I think it's better for them to blink this, but like, it's not as much of a clear cut. Okay. Take card advantage where they can get it. I can respect that. But this is one reason I held Wrath of God, is that the Wrath of God's way juicier now than it was back then. Hopefully they don't spell pierce me, bro. Okay, well it still dies. Yeah. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? More riddle skittles. Gonna hard cast the riddles. Okay. I can dig that. The bivouac. Do this. Hmm. I kind of like Solitude. Problem is, yeah, I'll do Solitude. And I'm probably gonna pitch the Wrath of the Skies. Yeah, alright. I needed to do that because that's a way juicier ephemerate target. Gotta do this now for hold my peace. Okay. Alright, let's do this, shall we? It's pretty good if I can pull this off. I mean, I might as well, right? I was not expecting this dual speed. I would have totally played into that, so not sure that was the correct call for them. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not them. I'm not them, so I don't know. All right, riddle skittles. They draw 2 off of that. Okay. do this. Because we don't want that to get. Yeah, hitting land drops, not bad. Yeah, we can live with that for sure. In fact, I kind of prefer that because maybe we path and then maybe we try to whack the Bivo. Okay. Well, they really want to draw a lot of cards, huh? I'll draw 2 cards off of that too. I'll smack me for 7. So I will try to whack the Bivo. Seems like I'm whacking the Bivo. I just realized I should have pathed this first. If they have Ephemerate, they'll Ephemerate this in response. Okay, well that's not an amazing blocker though. I find that a tad bit fascinating. I'm gonna hit that now. And I'm still in 1 Bivo attack takes this out because I gained a counter. Okay, that's a little scary. Although they don't have anything humongous in there. That's what she said. I'm just kidding. That's like a nega she said. But yeah, I'm wondering Philia? Okay. I guess they can reset the Emperor, right? Oh, or just... Ah, I see. So they can use it as a chumper. How about... Let me think here. Well, first things first. Let me go after the white. Adapt to. Ready. Alrighty. Should I go after the Teferi? No, I gotta go after this. In retrospect, maybe I should have played Get Lost on the Teferi, that on that. Actually, we're just going to cash out the Teferi for -3. Yeah. the Overlord. The Bizmuzak. None of your beeswax. What do they return? Witch Enchanter. Okay, I can dig that. I was kind of wondering if and when they would actually have Flicker Wisp. Okay, they wisped. They did indeed wisp. Turns Emperor Bones. That's kind of terrifying. I love me some Solitude, and I love me some me. Yeah, it's clearly got to be this. I don't want them. Yeah. My mission, should I choose to accept it, is to survive until the clock runs out. Although I don't think they won a game, so I think even if they win, I think we win game 3. But I want to win game 2. Surprised I didn't play a map token. Okay, I'll just take it. For what I was actually thinking to do was to hit that so they couldn't ephemerate and then hit this. But yeah, definitely they were not winning before the time ran out. Well, all right, let's see how. Well, then this is definitely a mulligan. One colorless, yeah, okay. All right, well this is one of the reasons I like Solitude. It's castable even with no lands, and I think I can put the mountain to the bottom. We don't even have any. Yeah, plus Mishra's Research Desk. Just a good early play. Okay, some kind of energy deck. I'm gonna wait on playing Research Desk because there's a decent chance I'll be able to cast whatever I hit. Okay. I probably should have played the planes. Okay, because I was gonna say they could next level me by not fetching or fetching basic, I guess. Um, all right. Well, they seem to be thinking definitely. But I need to hit my land drop, so it is what it is. hopefully hit a Wrath of God with this. Not quite a Wrath of God. I'm going to hope to draw into one. Actually, I'm an idiot because I should have hit a red source. No, I needed a white source for Wrath of God, but I should have hit the Get Lost. But anyway. So we might just have to accept having a bad matchup with this matchup if they really just don't play that many non-basics. Because them playing basics means we don't really have much of an ability to fix our own mana. Now, at least this time we have the mana up front. With 12 sweepers, it's not unthinkable that we can sweep games 2 and 3. Especially if they're not playing red, as it kind of seems like they're not. Yeah, and this is one reason I've been favoring Sacred Foundry lately, is I gladly take the 2 life to be on curve here. Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted because I don't want to take some of the few non-basics they have, but I also kind of need to just continue churning. Okay. 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 Yeah, hopefully they finally run out of basics. Man, doesn't look like. Looks like their basics are us. Or basics O'Toole, as it were. I didn't take my sneakers off. I am basics O'Toole. I didn't remove basic Lancer in my deck. I am basic Land O'Toole. I'm expecting Ophelia, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully they run out of basics soon. They can't have infinite non-basics. Basics. I need another sweeper. Hopefully I get Avengers Disassembled. I could pitch a Solitude, but what's the point? La, 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 la. Are they finally out of basics? Wow. I am so surprised they have this many basics O'Toole. I need another sweeper though, or I'm gonna be Sweepers O'Toole. Okay. I'm at 2 life. That's a little scary. I should have. I should have Solitude that. It is what it is. But if I draw a Wrath of God, it's gonna be really sweet. Okay, Avengers Disassembled is also pretty good. Wait a minute. Let's hope they don't have more syndication. La 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 la. I have to do this. I have no choice. La 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 la. They shouldn't have drawn one less card. I think I'm gonna just play this, or maybe I'll play this first, just to see what I get. La 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 la. I have to destroy this land. Nice. Take off those sneakers I should. Yeah. In all honesty, I was just kind of playing that by ear. If they just kept playing basics out, I'm just like, okay, I guess it is what it is. But eventually they ran out. I should have counted how many. I should have counted how many basics they had. Seems like they got like 7 or something, 6 or 7. I'm gonna guess like 5 planes and one island. So this deck tries to go over the top with card advantage, whereas the red-white version tries to get you with reach. I'm inclined to think the red-white version is better, but let's see how this goes. I have a feeling they have Philia O'Toole. Should I play Cleansing Wildfire just for efficiency's sake? Other than Quantum Riddler, I'm not gonna get juked. They've got Philia, I just feel it. Because they didn't play anything on turn 1 or turn 2. I guessed wrong. But maybe it's still better to hold this for Basic Island. That is an interesting card I did not expect them to play for some reason. Alright. So maybe it does turn out that's the better card to hit. There's the Quantum Riddler I was worried they'd have. Take off those shoes, I say. No. Okay. Let's do this. They're out of basics already? They don't have 3? Or maybe they got 1 in their hand. I wonder if I can attack with the Bivo Whack. I'm sure they got Solitude. Okay, well there goes Bivo Whack. Okay, I was expecting they would go after Bivo Whack, but okay. I guess that makes sense too. Yeah, Road seems pretty good. Research decks also seems good. Gotta hit my land drops. Wrath of God is cool, but I got a lot more where that came from. Yeah, I like Prize of Freedom. I really do, yeah. Maybe next turn we disassemble the Avengers. Unfortunately, if they cast White Orchid again on my Restless Bivouac, because I exiled this mountain, I'm not going to have 2 mountains for Avengers Disassembled. That's a little disappointing, but hopefully they don't have it. We're going to ephemerate this White Orchid Phantom. No! Ephemerate it, I say. No! Okay. I'm a little bit worried they've got some kind of counterspell. So let's nip that in the bud. I know maybe I'll draw another white source. Another red source, I mean. I guess that's not really another white. It's not another white source. It just isn't. I mean, it's a white source, not a red source. So I'm hoping for a super juicy Avengers Disassembled. Should I exile this? I'm going to say yes. Yes, I say. Well, now they see we've got Avengers Disassembled. We're going to take 8 damage. That's a lot of damage to take. But without reach, at the end of the day, I think we will run them out. Not really much reason not to play that, I think. We will hit their basic land. That's a pretty good result. If they play Philia, I've got a Solitude waiting as backup. Yeah, Avengers Disassemble just completely disassembles this match. So this, hey, you know, because that's the thing. Like when Geomancer's Gambit is good, I feel like it just kind of makes already good matchups better. Or, you know, I don't. What I'm trying to say is Avengers Disassembled. It really swings. I am not so sure. Like I definitely think without Avengers Disassembled, we are probably not favored against a number of different energy types, probably including this deck. I do think the red white energy is a tad bit better against us because we don't have a ton of life gain, so the reach is an issue. That being said, this deck also has a lot of card draw and such. And one of the things about that is we can't really afford to bring in Geomancer's Gambit against this deck, even though keeping them off of lands would be very important. But Avengers Disassemble just enables us to like just freely also pick off their lands while also having another sweeper. You know, anyway. Alright, I am Sneakers O'Toole. Alright, I'll keep it. It's a hand. 4-1. Can we get the trophy? That would be so cool if we could. I'd love to get back on the trophy map. But I think the best way to trophy is also to just kind of accept the possibility we might not, you know? Because nothing is guaranteed in life. Except for death. And yes, taxes. Alright. I guess if you consider needing food to survive attacks, you really can't survive. You can't really avoid food, or I mean, yeah, this sucks. Well, hopefully Calamity's Wake helps us out. The entire reason to put that in the deck is we're seeing more and more of these storm decks. Let's be real talk though. Even if this was a, even if this Get Lost was a Soul Partition, all that does is delay Ruby Medallion by a couple turns. Although maybe it delays it long enough that Wrath of the Skies actually does something. I'm gonna play Hex Magic. I just know it. I just know it. I'm gonna play Hex Magic. Or this win good old fashionedly without Hex Magic. Okay, make a ton of mana. This flips, I can erode it. Okay. Hopefully they were relying on that RAL to go off. I can only hope. Okay, well, I mean, I've heard of worse. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we definitely need Bivouac because we have to Wrath of the Skies, Ruby Medallions next turn, or we might as well just surrender at that point. And it is kind of better we did it this way because otherwise we would have swept up our own research desk in our Wrath, which of course is not guaranteed to go off because all they need is one ritual and one something to draw cards, I assume, and then they might be able to just scrape together enough to go off. And I'm suspecting they're thinking about that right now. It's also possible that they've got Wish and they're thinking about the various different lines they could play, including if they want to just dump a bunch of Goblin tokens. Like they might have Wish into they might have Ritual Wish, in which case they might be thinking about, yeah. Hopefully it's not a Storm Scale Scion. Although actually I guess I do have Wrath of God for that if they do if that is the line. What is the line though? That is the question. Whose line is it anyway? I don't. Yeah, yeah. If we actually end up taking this, this is definitely not the way it's supposed to go in game one. But we'll take it if so. Yeah, they've got a wish line. I just smell it. Question is, what do I wish for? Hopefully, it's something that involves dumping a bunch of creatures, because that I have an answer to. If it's Empty the Warrens, all the better, because that means I can sweep both the tokens and the medallions at the same time. Okay, question is, what did I do with all this? Yep, it's a wish line. Okay, it is empty the warrens. I called it. Well, I have a feeling we might just end up taking game one against all odds. Now we're not really supposed to have a game in game one, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, they could keep going off if they want. They could. No, they can't flashback the Empty the Warrens because that wasn't in their graveyard when they cast Past in Flames. But they could wish though, couldn't they? So, but we're not out of the woods yet though, because they do have Past in Flames in their graveyard. So there is the obvious possibility that they string together spells, and I have no graveyard hate game one, so I can't. As long as they have their graveyard, they always have a chance. Yeah, I gotta just do this. There's just no way. I mean, they've only got one Root Medallion left in their deck, so let's see. Hopefully they're one of these versions that doesn't have a bunch of basics. They can Pass in Flames, but they can't do anything with it yet. Oh, this is where Get Lost actually comes in handy. Ready? Okay, come on. Let's continue doing this. Alrighty, I'll take it. I'll take it because they could have strung together a bunch of stuff. All right, Calamity's Wake for sure. High Noon. Probably Emergency Eject. I don't think this is a Wrath of God matchup, unless, of course, they show me Storm Scales Scion. This is not a Path to Exile matchup. Solitude or Erode. One thing I like about Solitude is it can be played for free. It's also a win con. I think Erode's better though. It's kind of a close call. I think a road's better. Being able to intercept a Ral after it flips is a pretty big game. So I've got both my hate pieces, but no white mana. It's like some kind of sick joke. All right, well, hey. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a believer that I can draw more lands. Plus, one cool thing about putting a basic like that back is I have more to fetch later on. It's not like a sure thing, but yeah. I'm gonna do this. They could play prismatic ending, but I have a feeling they're gonna want to save their prismatic endings for yeah. Okay. Yeah, do this. I may not. I may be able to avoid taking unnecessary damage. I'm gonna try to use Calamity's Wake to right when they're about to win, basically. Maybe in response to Wish. Okay. Yeah, I can't do Price of Freedom because I gotta hold up Calamity's Wake. Now I could hit Ruby Medallion, but I don't want to do that because they could so easily just play another one and go off. That's the thing. But if they're not going to do anything, I think I will just do this. I'll make them work for going off. I'm going to do this. I don't see that many situations where I need two wakes because even if they play like Orm's Chant or something, I can just wake in response, and I'm pretty sure they can't really go off from there. Realm Monsoon, okay. Uh, see. I'm incentivized to hold this Calamity's Wave for as long as possible. I might even do it in response to them flipping, because then they can't cast any of those spells that they downtick for. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. If they cast Wish, though, I have to do it in response to Wish. Otherwise, they're going to flood the board with Goblin tokens, and I may not have an answer to that. I'm going to keep letting them go off, I think. I'll wait for them to use Ral's ability. this turn, so they can't use it next turn. Yeah, so I think this is a pretty good result. They're going to end up like milling a bunch of cards off the top they can't cast. Since they can only cast instants and sorceries, they literally they can't do anything with this. What is this? Okay. I think this is a monster card for the because like it also wipes their graveyard. This is an excellent card for the Storm matchup. Are you joking? Alrighty. I'm gonna do this. Okay, not bad. I don't know what the black is for. Kind of hope I never have to find out. Okay. Might as well. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah, let's do this. Trophy time. First trophy of the season. Whoa. Okay, okay. Calamity's Wake did exactly what I was hoping it was gonna do. Wow. That okay. Because full disclosure, I was getting beat up by Storm before this league. So like, I was like, I needed an answer. I'm like, the freaking Storm is like because of this new Hex magic, which they didn't get to cast by the way. So it would have been interesting to see, you know, how much of this was them getting unlucky and not drawing Hex magic, and also their hands were a little mid. So like, I don't want to get too excited too yet, but there is no logical reason I can think of why Calamity's Wake is not the single strongest card that we can be playing against Storm. There is no like just when I and I'm not sure if I explained this in the deck tech or not, but if I didn't, it's just crazy the way I found this because I saw one of these like commander shorts on YouTube, and there was this like 4 mana exile all cards from all graveyards, and then put like a 1/1 token into play, 1/1 flying creature token or something for each card exiled. I was actually kind of thinking that could be a cool sideboard option for Pioneer, which is slower and all that. I couldn't find it. Maybe it's a commander only or something. Probably is. It's not like super powerful or anything, but when I searched Exile All Graveyards, and somebody did actually, and I did remember Calamity's Wake. Somebody recommended this a long time ago. Back then, I don't think Storm was as much of a beast as it is now. Um, but like, I don't think I appreciated just how powerful that can't cast non-creature spells is. Anyway, the fact that it wipes the graveyard too is it's like this was clearly meant to beat up on Storm because the problem with Orm's Chant is yeah, you stop them from going off, but then they've got a Pass in Flames sitting in their graveyard, and then they can just do it all over again because they just literally casted all these spells and they're sitting in their graveyard, and the Pass in Flames is sitting in their graveyard, and they're literally ready for round 2. But Calamity's Wake exiles the freaking graveyard too. All right. Okay, and that's a wrap. What can I say? The Calamity's Wake literally did exactly what we were what I was like hoping it would do. Um, you're not always going to have it, but like I don't even think they have that many great answers to it. The best answer I could think of them having is Orm's Chant when they're going to go off. But now what that does do is that protects them from getting totally blown out because they yeah, because they won't you know They want to get their entire graveyard exiled. But what you could do is you could Calamity's Wake in response to their Orim's Chant. And while that won't, and while, hopefully you've got another one as a backup, but what you do is that at least buys you another turn, because at that point, unless they actually straight counter your Calamity's Wake, unless like you're out of mana or something and they play Reprieve, which I've never seen them play Reprieve yet, but unless they are playing some new card or like or heaven forbid that what's that other card called? Lapse of Certainty. I don't know, unless they're playing some weird stuff that we don't easily see them play. Pretty much Calamity's Wake is going to prevent them from going off that turn anyway, even if they play like an Orim's Chant. If you cast this in response to Orim's Chant, then at least you get into the turn, while also wiping their graveyard, which is pretty cool. And then hopefully you got another one, or you can, yeah. Other than that, oh yeah, Avengers Disassembled completely. I think there's a very very good chance we lose that blue-white energy matchup without this. That white-black blink, pretty scary deck, but we just relied on the main deck configuration for that one. I was actually quite surprised that Calamity's Wake. I was expecting Calamity's Wake was going to be a downgrade against Goryo versus Relic, but it actually turned out to be better because they didn't see it coming. Now I can't help, but I do have to say though that we were kind of lucky that they weren't able to set up like a Thoughtseize and to clear the way then Goryo. They also weren't able to set up like a Teferi and then into Goryo type of situation. It is worth noting though that if they don't also have Goryo in their hand, you can always fire off a Calamity's Wake in response to a Goryo. I mean, in response to a Thoughtseize or a Teferi. That way, at least. Well, you could do it on your turn if you want against Teferi, because obviously, if they have Goryo in their hand, they can just cast it in response. But the point is that you could always play it like either at sorcery speed, or you could play it in response to a Thoughtseize, because you sometimes just wiping their Atraxa or their Gristleband out of their graveyard is going to be good enough. Either way, oh yeah, and red white energy. I don't remember if Avengers Disassembled made that big of a difference in that matchup, but I think it definitely can going forward. Yeah, no complaints. No complaints here. I think this deck still has it, and yeah. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks to the patrons: Michael Patton, Erwin Lopez, Adrian King, Paul Wynn, Big Mamu, Alex Korthauer, Kasi Nimanlita, Jacob Portone, Carlo MW, Aaron C, Bashi Zhang, and Lao Yao Palace. Thank you, everybody. Take care.